War II, Bumblebee arrived on Earth sometime before the outbreak of the Second World War, and alongside Hot Rod, they fought alongside a military unit in the war against the Nazis. Taking up the code name ZB7, he befriended the young Edmund Burton, but as the decades passed, Bumblebee would not come to remember World War II as a particularly noteworthy conflict.
Transformers: The Last Night. In the years since Optimus Prime's departure into space in search of the creators, Bumblebee retook command of the remaining team of Autobots on Earth. He accompanied Cade and Hound to the Chicago No-Go Zone, a hotspot of Cybertronian artifacts that landed on Earth since the Battle of Chicago. He and Cade came to the aid of Isabella after her Autobot companion Canopy was killed, with Bumblebee himself destroying one of the attacking Sentinels. When Cade was held up by the TRF, Bumblebee came to his assistance, albeit in an unorthodox manner.
He blew himself apart, only for his individual pieces to piece back together, and reassembled himself in order to dispose of the TRF forces, giving their side the advantage. If it weren't for Lennox's intervention, Bumblebee would very likely have killed TRF Commander Santos, with Cade easing the standoff to prevent any collateral damage, and Hound arriving at the scene. He urged the TRF to lower their weapons and allow them to leave, but not without the TRF tagging Bumblebee with a tracker.
Back at the junkyard where the other Autobots camped, he struggled to keep the team in order, with Grimlock stealing the local sheriff's cruiser and Crosshairs questioning his leadership skills, with whom he engaged in a small brawl. It wasn't helped by the arrival of the unscrupulous day trader, who brought with him more of his shady trinkets, which included a Vatibot, which Bumblebee angrily crushed, and the deceased Starscream's head.
The next morning, however, a convoy of Decepticons were heading towards at the junkyard. While Hound and Trench held the line, Bumblebee and others fled to a nearby town where Drift discovered and disabled the tracker the TRF had placed on Bumblebee. After the Decepticons had been lured into a trap, Bumblebee personally slew Mohawk before a headmaster by the name of Cogman arrived on the scene to escort Cade to England to meet Sir Edmund Burton. Bumblebee accompanied Cade as extra muscle.
At the castle, they were initially greeted by a tank Transformers suffering from robot dementia attacking them before Sir Edmund scrolled him for firing at guests. Burton then expressed joy at seeing Bumblebee despite the Autobot not remembering him. It was then that Bumblebee was reunited with Hot Rod, who had sort of kidnapped a woman named Vivienne Wembley. When the TRF arrived, Bumblebee served as a getaway car for Cade and Vivienne, depositing them at her flat before he took the two to the HMS Alliance, during which he managed to get his Decepticon nemesis Barricade off his tail by blasting him aside.
Leaving Hot Rod behind, Bumblebee took hold of the massive Femme as she submerged and took the humans to a submerged Cybertronian ship. Inside the ship, however, the group was forced to split as ocean debris had made the path accessible to humans but inaccessible to Bumblebee. He caught up with the two soon after Vivienne had found the staff of Merlin and seconds before Nemesis Prime arrived to demand the staff. After threatening Vivienne's life for it, Nemesis walked out and Bumblebee, spurred on by Cade, followed Nemesis to try and reawaken his true personality.
On the deck of the ship, Nemesis promptly beat Bumblebee into submission only for the sound of Bumblebee's true voice to reawaken Optimus Prime. Allying with the Guardian Knights, the Autobots flew to Cybertron to confront and destroy Quintessa while Vivienne removed the staff from the ignition chamber to halt her plan. Though Cybertron's reconnecting and shifting geology proved an obstacle, the Autobots made it to the area of the ignition chamber only to be faced by a Decepticon army backed up by a gun emplacement and Infernicus. They were eventually destroyed by Optimus and Squeaks.
Salvation came when the British military caused a nearby chunk of Cybertron to swing and impact the ignition chamber. In the temporary state of zero gravity, Bumblebee took the opportunity to kill Nitro Zeus by blowing up his head. Optimus then distracted Quintessa, allowing Bumblebee to blast her from behind, with a quippy one-liner, and Vivienne to remove the staff, saving Earth. On the surface of Earth, Optimus had felt that Cybertron had healed enough that the Autobots could return home, and Bumblebee, after thanking the humans for saving Optimus, boarded the night ship as it blasted off for Cybertron. Thank you for watching.
Our fates were always intertwined.